Hey guys, I'm just taking care of all this crappy wood from the pallets, and I'm gonna burn it all. So yeah, I don't know if you guys have chainsaws at all. I have a lot of chainsaws, but I have two electric ones that, I mean, you can honestly use on the job. I like them for around the house when you don't, my wife doesn't mind using it either. These batteries last forever. They're good saws. And yeah, this saw is actually good for having right by the chipper too. You know, if a branch is too big and it won't go through the battery power, you're not sitting there having to start the saw every time. So yeah, I mean, I would highly recommend this for a homeowner. For the job, I don't know, I prefer my gas stuff, but I have a top handle, and then I have this one. It's the 200C. Good saw though. But yeah, I'm gonna cut these up. Holy icy. You just gotta watch their 1,000 nails that they put in this. So you definitely end up with a lot of crappy wood when you buy these machines. But not the end of the world. Someone would take it, and you don't really want to build anything with this crap. It looks good when it arrives, but it's actually just terrible, crappy wood. So wood is definitely a lot easier to break when it's not wet. When it gets wet, it's almost bendy. It doesn't want to break. Problem with putting this all in the boiler is you end up with a ton of nails in your boiler, in the ashes, but it's not a big deal. Spread the ashes, run the magnet over it. It'll pick up all the metal after. I picked up some cheap mics from Amazon, so I'm hoping that my audio quality is better. This will be my first trying them out, and I don't know if I'm doing it right, but hopefully it sounds good. Into the boiler she goes. I want to show you guys these snow drifts. These snow drifts are at least 5 feet tall, I think now. It's like perfectly all the way around it, probably taller over there. Kind of cool, but I kind of want this stuff to disappear. This winter's been brutal. But I live in Canada, so I can't complain. So guys, I'm going to do a video soon coming up with the Derette V1000 versus my turbo loader. Let me know what you guys want to see. Obviously, I'm going to do a speed test. We can do a lifting test. I already know that the turbo loader is going to smash this in speed test, because I can feel how slow a track loader is compared to my wheeled loader. But this thing feels a lot more stable to me, even though my loader is wider. It sits up a little higher, and This being on tracks and the weight being so low, I feel like that's a huge advantage to the Derette over the loader. So there's certain things where I think the loader is better. Obviously comfort. This isn't uncomfortable, but in the loader, you're sitting down. The controls to me are super easy. I've ran it a bunch of times, so you know it's pretty easy. The controls on this, you know, equally as easy, but for comfort wise, the turbo loader is going to take it every time because you're sitting down. On this one, you're standing up. One thing I don't like about this, putting on attachments, not that it's that hard, but it's kind of hard to see when you're here. Certain attachments are harder, even and especially at nighttime with your light on, and when you put the arm down to get it into position to hook up to an attachment, it's super hard to see. I did it last night, no problem. Like, I couldn't even see what I was doing, and I got it in there, no problem. But there is a learning curve to getting the attachments on quick and fast, and I feel like I've kind of figured it out with this machine, and now it hasn't been a problem. You can hook up super fast on the loader because I can just push a button to release the pins and push a button to engage the pins. So on this one, you have to manually get out and flip the pins, which to me is not a problem. I mean, I kind of prefer that because it's just another thing that can go wrong on the loader. By pushing that button, it engages and disengages your pins. But if something like that goes wrong, then that's just another problem, right? Whereas these pins, you know, as long as you grease them, you're not going to have any problems with them. I don't think, or unless you smash them off something, drop the big log on them or something like that. Another thing I dislike about this machine, and it's not a problem because I fixed it, is when you're pouring diesel into it, they put such a fine filter in that the diesel tank, that you literally can't pour diesel through it. You have to, like, it would take you an hour to fill this tank. So you just pull that little fine filter out and fill it up. You can get a filter that's a little less aggressive that'll still catch dirt and stuff like that and pour the diesel through that. Another thing I dislike about this machine is, once again, not a huge deal, not a deal breaker for me, but the hydraulic lines where you connect, they're a little close. It's hard to get your hands in there. That's another minor thing, but to me, they should have been spaced out a little bit more. There's room there to have them spaced out, and instead they just left them real close to each other. So if you have bigger hands or you got gloves on, you don't have much room to push on it to get the attachments on and off. Another thing that I don't love about the machine is the throttle on it. I feel like they should have just went with a basic forward and back throttle. I don't hate this one, and I don't know, I've left this one overnight and it's not freezing up, whereas on my turbo loader it's a straight forward, straight back throttle, and that one does freeze up on me from time to time. So as much as I don't like this throttle, I feel like there's less room for water and stuff like that to get down on this one. Whereas forward and back, you got that whole gap where water and stuff like that can get into it and freeze up on you if you're leaving it outside and if you live in a crappy area like me in Canada. But if you're in a nice warm environment, you'd never have a problem with that either. Another thing that I don't love is the light position. I feel like the light position could have been put up a little bit higher, just because where it is right here, it's blocked by a lot of stuff. So as soon as you put your bucket up a little bit, you're pretty much blocking all your light. Like, once again, this came with a light, where a lot of the big name brands don't even come with a light at all. You know, I'm just nitpicking. So one more thing I didn't love that it came with was this bucket. It's a deeper bucket, but I feel like I would have been better off with a wider bucket, and I probably could have talked to Dean about that and getting a wider bucket instead of this short narrow one, which, you know, this one with the teeth on it will dig really well. But for me, I'd rather have something that can push more surface, like snow or dirt. For this small machine, I would like a little bit wider bucket, but I see why they went with that, so it's not sticking past the machine. Because if you're buying this machine for backyard use, you want a bucket that's going to fit through there and do the work. But if you're going back and forth through the gate, then this bucket's going to be the bucket that works for you. Say I hit 500 subscribers, and I think I hit that last night or this morning. I don't know. I realized this morning I had 503 subscribers. So thank you guys so much for that. And the next video I think I'll post will be this machine versus my turbo loader. I quoted 3 jobs. I got 2 of them so far. So I can't complain about that. I'm going to be making some money again, which I'm happy about. And then I can start spending it more. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. And please like, subscribe. And thanks a lot for the 500 subs. Thanks, guys.